In the year 1985, the house is 106,000. But then by the year 2005, it's 148,000. So some students might look at this as like a straight increase, right? So if you made like a quick X and Y chart, maybe this is the starting price at 106,000. Maybe they think it's just a straight line. But really, growth is, especially growth where we know it's growing by a certain percentage each year, growth by a percentage of what you already have is an exponential increase. So we're seeing something that actually looks like this. Okay, that's the growth of housing prices. So anything that grows based on the percentage of population that's already there, or in this case population is money, anything that grows based on a percentage of a starting amount is an exponential rate. Okay, so we'll need that for for things that we'll see this week. It's an exponential rate. Okay, now that we know that, we have a function that models exponential functions. Okay, this is like the y equals mx plus b of exponential equations. A is like your starting amount because that's the amount when t equals 0. Right? If you plug in t equals 0, then this whole term is just 1. So A is like your starting amount. B is like the exponential rate. And t is obviously time here. So we have some information. At time 0, at 1985, at the start of our analysis, it's $106,000. And then, let's see, 1985 to 2005, that's 20 years. So after 20 years, it's $148,000. So let's plug this information in, and then we can find out the A and the B for this function, and we'll be able to answer their question. Okay, so if we plug in 106,000 in here, because that's the amount we have after a certain time, and if we plug in 0 in for t, and if you simplify, you get A equals 106,000. So we know what A is supposed to be. So our function is a little bit more defined now. So to find out what B is going to be, let's plug in the other information we have. We're going to plug in 20 in for t and 148,000 in for the result. Because we should get 148,000 when t equals 20, according to the information of the word problem. Okay, so to get b by itself, we'll divide 106,000 from both sides. So that gives us 1.39, blah, 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 a whole bunch of stuff. Let's just cut it off here. That equals our b, which is being raised to the 20th power right now. So in order to get b by itself, some students would say divide 20 from both sides. Look, that 20 is an exponent. So you can get it by itself by raising both sides to the 1 out of 20th power. Because remember, a power on top of another power, that's a rule of exponents. They would multiply. So 20 times its reciprocal gives you just 1. Just gives you b to the first. But what we do to one side, we got to balance an equation by doing it to the other side. So I've got to take this big whole thing, and I'm going to raise it to the power of 0.05, which is 1 out of 20. So 1.0168. Okay, so that is our exponential rate, but that's not a percentage, okay? What this number represents is it says, hey, you keep your same amount, one whole amount, okay? If that was a 2 there, then I mean we double every year, okay? But this says, hey, you retain 100% of the value of the house plus this decimal form of a percentage, okay? So our answer isn't this whole thing. Our answer, the percentage rate, well, first, the decimal form of the percentage rate is 0.01683. So the answer, the actual percentage, is when we convert that decimal to a percent. That's 1.6, 2 decimal places, so 1.68 is our answer, okay? And I was talking to another student this morning about this. The kind of anecdotal reason for that is like if you want to increase the price of a product by, let's say, 6% in your store, change colors, so this is not directly involved with this problem. But if you want to increase a product price by 6%, you can take whatever that price was, maybe it was $10, and multiply it by 1.06. Okay, this is the percent that you want to increase it by, and the 1 is here so that you're multiplying by 1 to retain the original value of the product. So that means we'd be charging $10.60. That's a 6% increase on that product. Same thing with this problem, right? You're keeping the same value of the house plus this percentage. So this is your percentage increase right here, just as a decimal.